Hey guys, I'm Lindsay.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Phil.
And we are half the music staff, and this is Behind the Music Desk, and we are going to talk to you about music that was recently played on the 7 o'clock music news.
All right, so what are we starting off with?
We are starting with the XX Hold on Hold.
Same
close.
difference.
Honestly, I think they there's a song by them that kind of like has a similar title, but it's a new single off of their upcoming album, their third album. It's I See You, and it's out January 13th.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, if you're an XX fan, this is a very exciting time. And so Jamie XS, who is part of the band, he produced this record, and it's so cool. He samples a Hall & Oates song. I Can't Go for that, and I just think like that's so random.
Yeah, it's a very
funny
cool sample.
It makes it like, I don't know, it adds a sense of humor to the song, but it's utilized so well. Like if I wasn't told, I wouldn't have necessarily guessed that, which I think is really cool.
And this song sounds very much like it could have been on Jamie XX's solo album.
Definitely,
So they're definitely expanding their sound, because Coexist, their last album, was very, very soft. So
this is slightly more poppy, but still them, which great.
An exciting direction.
I know. I love the reviews of this. NPR, I love NPR. They were like, those beats feel like the heart pumping at 126 beats per minute. I'm like, that is such an NPR review.
Really?
I love it.
But we concur.
Exactly. We agree.
Totally.
I agree.
So what's next?
We have Maggie Rogers with Dog Years. That's our next song. So this is her second new release of this year. She was discovered by Pharrell actually when they were doing an NYU masterclass with her song Alaska. That's really her only major release. She did 2 folk albums in the past, but these are her like newest songs, and it's definitely a more like it's a blend of electronic and folk, I would say. But yeah, this one is gonna, I think, be on her new EP. She hasn't set a release date, but she's working towards an EP.
But she was not expecting to be.
I know. Yeah,
exactly.
Alaska took off completely, without anyone anticipating it.
Yeah.
But so now we're not ready for her album.
Now she has to like expedite it. So
I can't speak properly.
I know,
I'm so excited.
Exactly. And I give her credit for having to put out content so fast, but also good content. Not just what
she's not just like putting stuff out that she doesn't care about.
Exactly. Like this really means a lot to her, and you could tell on one of her Facebook posts, she was saying how Dog Years is about trusting yourself and the universe and being a good friend and just like taking care of yourself, and that's definitely evident in the song, and especially her being true to herself and not just trying to pump out music because it's for the public. So
exactly.
Cool.
I definitely respect that.
So that's Maggie Rogers. And moving on through the news, we have a new track from a band that we're going to call Star Effer. And they've been a pretty important indie band for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They're just about to turn 10 years old. And the song we're playing by them is called Open Your Eyes. It's off their new album Being No One Going Nowhere, and it just came out on November 4th. It was recorded in Joshua Tree, and lots of artists have a Joshua Tree album. It has such a huge influence on the music. This sounds very quiet. You can hear the desert breathing in the songs.
Yeah, that's such a good point. It feels, and I know like they have a little bit of like more Eastern influences on this album, which is a really nice change. I know that they've been into like philosophy. Like one of their older songs is called Khalil Gibran, so they're obviously into that. But this, I think, feels like it really comes from that place more than their other stuff.
Yeah, and I love this because this is their 10th anniversary, coming in a couple months, and it's so cool because this is one of the bands that I think we've grown up with. Like I remember listening to them even in middle school and high school, and I've enjoyed kind of seeing them grow. And it's been awesome. From literally, I think they had a song in the car commercials. From now that I'm talking about them at a radio station, and it's awesome. Very, 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 very proud of them.
Yeah, and one last point on Star Effer, Royale, November 27th.
Yes,
check it out.
Very, very cool. A little fun thing after Thanksgiving to do. Yeah. So moving on to our next song, we have a song from the late Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
His song "On the Level" off his new album "You Want It Darker," which we were just discussing before this, that it's so him, such a cheeky and
cheeky little phrase.
It's a cheeky little phrase. It's very him kind of being self-deprecating, but also being ironic and poking fun at the society where he's releasing music to. And it's a beautiful song, basically about his reconciliation with the fact that he's about to pass.
He was getting ready to die.
Yeah, he was, and I think that he made beautiful music for it, and we've seen this with David Bowie, with Johnny Cash. These beautiful last albums by these amazing artists, kind of reconciliating with the fact that they might not be here for that much longer.
But it's not coming from a place of sadness. It's coming from a place of like understanding, and I think a very genuine. That's always what I felt about Leonard Cohen.
Very real.
Such a real musician, and like one of the most real, I think, male folk artists. Like really, you feel out all of his music, which is amazing.
Definitely. And even he's touched so many people that literally there are 60 covers by like very well-known bands like Paramore, and Bob
one
Dylan.
Of the most covered artists of all time.
Yes.
Like Beyond Hallelujah, his other songs of his, he's up, like other than maybe Paul McCartney.
I know,
one
seriously.
of the most covered artists.
Amazing.
So we're
He's
sad to have
incredible
lost
musician.
him.
Exactly. Really sad loss, but a really great last album. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So next up, we are doing a couple of ads that we've added to the station recently.
Wrapping up the news discussion.
Exactly. So this one is Cloud Nothing's Modern Act. They're from Cleveland, which I'm also from. Woo! So it's a great little hometown pride there. I really like the new direction that their album seems to be going in. Their new album comes out this coming January. January
27th.
27th. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. And so it's definitely less, I would say less punk maybe than their first two albums, more like power pop, which I know it sounds terrible.
It sounds bad.
But
it really works. It really works.
Definitely. Yeah, and they still have like their lyrics on their previous albums were angsty but very, very smart, and they kept that on this new sound, which is really, really nice.
And they're coming to the Paradise January 31st. So very excited for that. See their album. What do we have?
Our last ad for the week is another song from Group Love. We're following up Welcome to Your Life with Do You Love Someone? It's off their third album, Big Mess, and their Group Love is such a fantastic group to hear continuing to grow and get more, like they keep getting more exuberant, which is awesome.
Expanding outward, like an even bigger sound, but still very well produced. I
guess.
Definitely.
And I think that probably, but it would be hard for it not to have influenced it. But it's their first release after vocalist Hannah Hooper became a mother.
Yeah,
and
congrats,
that's coming through.
That's awesome.
If you're watching.
That's it.
That's
we're
all out of stuff.
We're all out of content.
All out of content. But
we'll be back next week.
We will be back next week. Always back next week. So so hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for another episode of the Behind the Music Desk.
And keep listening to 88.9 WBRS.